And we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this episode of the Connection Loop podcast. I am here with a legendary person. We are going to get into the topic of automations. Um, Rob and Alex, just take us through this whole thing. Like, what's going on? Talk to us about automations. Talk to us about marketing and sales and AI and what has changed. Like, what do we need to know if we want to automate our business?
Yeah, I think it starts from the top of the funnel, right? You want to be out there talking to as many people as possible. That's where automations really come in, where you're sending outbound emails or responding to inbound leads. But you're just one person or you're a small team. You don't have the capabilities to really be communicating back and forth manually. And so this is where automations can really play to your advantage. It automates the responses back and forth for you. And then, what we're actually seeing here at HighLevel is you're able to take those conversations and really process them down different stages of your business funnel. And through that process, you're able to create more communication paths and then even do automations to other business assets that you have or business software applications, right? Maybe you need to send contracts back and forth or tie into a project management system. And I think that's where we're starting to see a lot of cool and fun things that people have put together because they're connecting into other applications. Other parts of the business now get to interact, in a very systemized manner. And, of course, OpenAI, just AI in general is really taken over along the way. And I think we're just taking away a lot of the minutia, a lot of the boring aspects of everyone's job. It just disappears because now it's AI and automations have really just taken over.
The most common response that I get when I say, "Hey, have you used automations on our platform, Dub?" is automations is a little above me and it's beyond my pay grade. It's beyond my skill set. It's a little intimidating. I have this sort of general consensus from some people, mostly I would say independent contractors, solopreneurs, small business owners that don't have a marketing department, that haven't hired a demand gen person to actually build up an automation system. So, how accessible would you say automation has now become, and why?
I think it's changed quite a bit, mostly post COVID, because everyone became instantly a digital citizen in many cases. It didn't matter if you were in the service industry, from a storefront or something like that. At some point during COVID, you became a digital citizen. You were sitting in front of your computer trying to figure out how to continue running your business. And I think at that point, it's there is a lot of available technology and it's not expensive. What I really need to figure out is if I were to take a pen and paper, how can I draw out what I do every single day? And if you
Mhm.
can take that as a blueprint, then it's how can I put this in a system so it'll do it for me, and just make my life easier. And I think that's to your question about accessibility. I think it's there. The biggest challenge though is people just haven't taken the time out at a macro level and looking at what they do from a day-to-day perspective to then try to automate it. But I definitely saw the increase of that through COVID because you were kind of forced to doing that.
That makes sense. Now you guys have an interesting white label option, right? Could you take me through that? I've seen some information about that.
Yeah. So, automation platforms, CRM systems, and all that have existed, and we're not the first to come to market by any means. There's hundreds of different applications that's out there. What we basically done is taken those same tools and bundled them all into one place. And we actually try to give it to the technologist and generally speaking, the marketing agency. And the marketing agency typically would white label it, put their brand on it, because what they're doing is they're taking a vanilla canvas, taking their visualization of how they perceive automations, package it up as their own, and then take it down to their customers. And in many cases, it's the same system that they're delivering to their customers. So that white label aspect is that technologist, that marketing agency, to be able to put their own brand on it and sell it out as their own IP.
Well, this is really interesting. I mean, one of the things that I've really enjoyed watching is I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times now on TikTok where someone explains how they can basically start a software company, a SaaS company with high profitability, unlike services-based businesses or e-commerce businesses. and they can have high profitability and not have to actually incur a lot of the investment to actually get that business off the ground. And it's kind of interesting. You know, it's the first time I saw it, someone was like, "Here's how to start a SaaS company in 1 week with 90% profitability." And I said, okay, let's not overpromise here. But at the same time, there's something really turnkey and amazing that you guys have built. And I would love to learn more about that and just give you guys a shout out.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think the profitability side of things, it exists if you're just scratching the surface and helping small businesses. And you have to understand, like, the small businesses that's out there, the mom and pop, the brick and mortars. There are many, thousands of businesses, not only here in the United States, but worldwide, that haven't conquered the digital divide. And the new, technologists, I love using that term, and we call them SaaSpreneurs here at HighLevel. It's really taking the basic fundamentals of our product and using that as the stepping stone and really helping these new business or these old businesses, these legacy businesses that haven't come online today. And then, there's another anchor of we're seeing an explosion of new startups that's coming out. I was actually talking to a customer. They were working for a big plumbing company, 20 trucks or whatever. And now they decided to get their own truck and start their own business. And so there's an explosion of that's happening as well. And they were coming to HighLevel because they were like, oh, we heard about it. We need to get all this stuff. But they didn't want to do it themselves. They're the best at being a plumber. And so I got them to one of our customers who they specialize in that industry, and they got them set up with the basics, right? You need a website, you need to do some basic emails and templates and stuff like that. And so really, that's really the start of what we're talking about, creating a marketing agency, creating an online software company, delivering those solutions to that business. Now, the advantage that you also have, and where profitability kind of gets all over the place because of labor associated to delivering that technology, is when you start getting into more of the advanced stuff, where it's really sitting down with that business, and we'll use that plumber in the same example, and really understanding their day-to-day process and how they deliver. Then you're trying to automate it. You're really trying to streamline their processes to, generate a quote or an estimate, turn that into a quote, get the payment, and get that into their accounting software. And then when they close on the deal, send out reminders of when the actual plumbing service is going to start. And then, at the end, do a review request. Like, you have to map out the whole business from A to Z. And that's really where complexity arises. But we still see it as a wide blue ocean for people just doing the basics and really helping businesses build that foundation there.
Yeah. So tell me this: what has been your number one channel for growth? Like, what is, if you were to just attribute one of your channels to the growth that you guys have experienced? I mean, how many active users do you guys have now?
So we have a little over 26,000 direct customers who represent close to 500,000 small businesses. User count, I think we're a little over 3 million users, because every business has 10 people that they need to log in, plus the agencies themselves, right? It's just a big compounding number there, but we look at it as direct agencies and then how many small businesses that we serve, which is about half a million.
Got it. So talk to me about your GTM.
Yeah, I mean, we've been very fortunate from having a word of mouth concept. So really, from the very beginning, customer number one comes in, it's me and my two partners, as three co-founders here. It's literally us doing the onboarding, and we try to, just sit down with that customer until they found their first level of success, which is really getting into the platform, bringing their first customer in. And once we got them to a point of success, it's asking, hey, before I get you off, do you have 2 other people that you could recommend this to? Can you give me their contact and can you connect us to them? And the concept, birds of a feather flock together. And just naturally we'd get 2 more customers out of it. And it just became this compounding effect. And so to date, I mean, we just recently started doing advertising, but it's more or less testing out how advertising works because our platform does it. But today it's just a word of mouth concept for us, and that allowed us to grow at a significant rate.
So you guys put in the work, you did the grind. I think one of the most interesting things about this is the opportunity to listen to your customers when you're on the front lines like that, and you're actually onboarding customers and getting them happy to the point where they're actually willing to refer you to someone else, which means they have to put their reputation on the line.
Yeah.
And I think there's something really stellar about founders and entrepreneurs that do that, because of the idea that I'm going to put aside my ego. I'm going to put aside this idea that I'm too important to be on all these sales calls and doing demos and actually asking for new clientele and referrals, and overcoming that and just getting to the point where you're getting information. Talk to me about that. What was that process like for you, and how much of that do you still do?
I mean, it is still a part of our philosophy today. Luckily, me and my partners are not doing implementations as much as we once were. Well, luckily and unluckily, I miss it. But the nice thing is we're still on the front lines. We still talk to customers every single day. I still do implementations every day. It's just not at the volume. I mean, we've grown as a team to about 500 people worldwide. So have a lot of people on the front lines, and that's our philosophy. Every person that comes into our door today, we need to have someone on our team walking them through the process and then asking those questions again. Is there two people that you can refer us to? And what we've also done over time is built, the ability to monetize against that. So not only do we want you to put your reputation on the line, if that person does become a customer, we'll also give you 40% commission for the lifetime of it. So they're incentivized along the way. So it's a nice little cherry on top, right? They have to put their reputation out there, and you get a little bit of money to help you with that referral. And
I think this was I think this was one of the reasons why I was intrigued to get you on the Connection Loop podcast, because when I had heard that you offer a lifetime commission, I said that is giving skin in the game, and that's giving a true reward, because 99.9% of affiliate and partnership programs are a one-time commission. Someone signs up, it's a cost per lead, it's a cost per sign up. There's a commission amount, and then that person will continue to hopefully pay and be a customer. But the referee, the affiliate marketer, the partner, they do not get paid. And it's always seemed very unfair to me. And I think it's unfair to me for two reasons. Number one is because there's this idea of the circumvention. How much of our referrals as affiliate marketers actually get attributed to our affiliate link, our partner link? A lot of them don't. I mean, let's just face it. People will circumvent the link. Maybe they signed up before we sent them the link, and we don't get the commission. So that's the first thing why it's maybe unfair. And then the second thing is because we're hustling and we're doing our work to get people to onboard and to be customers of awesome software companies that we believe in, like HighLevel, and we should be compensated for that. So talk to me about the synthesis of this program. What were the failures in it? What were the successes? How did you guys land on the current program?
Yeah, I think from the get-go, right, we were just asking people, do you know two other people? And that was always our blanket line. From there, over time, people were like, yeah, but I get nothing out of it. What can you give me? So we thought about it heavily, and we decided we don't want to spin up a true sales team. So if we kind of look at our customers as being our loudest channel, the loudest echo chambers, and they're telling everyone about the product, why can't they be a part of the product themselves? And instead of us paying a sales team to go find customers, we're just asking our customers to go find their friends to join the application. And then, to your question about why, the lifetime recurring, because we're asking our customers to not only use the product as well as get their friends, or their connections to join the product, they're incentivized to keep that customer going on as well. So it actually reduces our support costs and customer support costs, customer success costs as well, because they're, to your point, they have skin in the game. I need to make sure that you're successful. So when you have questions, not only can you come to HighLevel to ask questions, I'm going to go to the person that brought me in, like, what's going on? Like, how do I solve this problem? Or can you tell me more about how to optimize it and stuff? And, we've had failures along the way. People do try to take advantage of the system. They try to only focus on the top level of just putting links out there and just sharing it. Not only do we have a very strong affiliate management team that tracks all that, and we try to kick out, affiliates who try to take advantage of the system, because we do want it to be very powerful and meaningful. But we also provide churn statistics, and, we call our affiliates and try to walk them through the process of, like, hey, you're actually suffering because you're doing a lot of work to bring in new traffic, but they're not finding success. So let's change your model and let's progressively make it better. And in that lens, we kind of look at these top affiliates as being our top salespeople, and we try to arm them with the right resources to find success.
That makes sense. So when you started the program, did you start on a recurring commission, or was it just a flat commission?
It was always recurring whenever we kicked it off. And, there's a few other software companies that had that, and just kind of the same thing, because we're on the front lines. We just asked our customers, and the customers that were asking, like, hey, do you guys have this program? We would just ask, like, yeah, but what would you want the percentage to be? And they would show us examples, and we're just like, why can't we be top of market? Why can't we be the best that's out there?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Because I think it drives more skin in the game.
Yeah, when we decided to do the same thing, recurring commission, it was groundbreaking for us. In the beginning, it was like, this is not a typical thing. Usually, it's you just pay per a sign up. If someone signs up, you pay them, or
Mhm.
if they subscribe for a month or for a year, then there's a commission. And one of the biggest flaws I think of affiliate marketing is that for software specifically for SaaS companies, there's so many affiliate programs out there where if the customer, if they sign up for 1 month, the affiliate only gets the 10, 20, 30% of that 1 month. It's not like it says, okay, we're going to give you more if they stick around for more than 1 month. So if it's like $50 a month, they'll get like $5, And it's like, wow, this is a software platform that has a lifetime value of, maybe $1,000, and they're getting a $5 bill. This is terribly wrong. And
Yeah,
there's too many software companies out that do that. So huge shout out to you guys. I'm so psyched and I'm so honored to be in the same sort of world where we offer a recurring commission. And I'm telling you, it is the true sign, I think, of like a growth mindset. So awesome, awesome work.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's badass. Cool. All right, so let's kind of switch gears a little bit. Now, we mentioned AI. Now, AI is something that we're all talking about. AI, where most of us have landed is we use AI in business. We use it to help us with our writing. So our email subject lines and our automation messaging and our notifications and our blog posts and our video scripts and YouTube and whatnot. But what is the future of AI, and how is it truly going to help the customer journey and actually ultimately increasing our conversion rate, not just helping us create content?
Yeah, I mean, the way that we're looking at it here at HighLevel is starting with the basics, right? Like, to your point, creating the blog articles, creating content, and curating it for you. And you're just, getting it to be trained on maybe your website or some basic content that you feed it, and it starts outputting the basic stuff. Where we see it is, speed to lead. And if we can have that bot communicate with a customer, you're taking 90% of the time wasted from any business owner from actually running their business. The dentist can go back to being a dentist. They don't have to be on the front lines. Even the front desk receptionist, who is probably put on that role of communicating with people, now they can actually go back to doing like actual important work of charting and running the operations of the business and stuff like that. There's this like weird philosophy of like AI is gonna, take away all the jobs of the world and stuff like that. And I really don't think that's the case. I think it's just gonna replace a lot of the boring activities, a lot of the repetitive activities, and it will handle it in a very meaningful way and not in a robotic manner.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. That is one of the concerns that people have. Is AI going to replace jobs? Is it going to take jobs? People are talking about that a lot. I'm impressed with a lot of the writing and the sort of digital creation that AI is doing. I mean, I recently had a chance to check out how AI can actually create video clips, and ultimately it can create B-roll footage for a whole video. So if you give it, contextual information, it will generate B-roll clips to help you make your YouTube video pop. Now, is it perfect? No. Some of the people in those clips have like 7 fingers.
Yeah.
Like if anyone's on Mid-Journey, zoom in on the fingers. It's for some reason AI has not figured out fingers yet. It's
Yeah, yeah.
hilarious. But what I always say is that it's sort of like a block for writer's block. It's a cure for writer's block, I should say. If we don't know what to say, if we don't have a starting point, then at least catalyze us and give us a path that we can take. And we might completely change it and go in a different direction. Talk to me about how we can use AI to help us get over writer's block and ultimately still stay authentic, still really have that true connection to our customers that doesn't look like it's just generic and something that's just been frankly generated by computers.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just making sure that the AI bots that you build has context of historical stuff, whether it's, what's on your website, getting it to pull from your social media, from things that you've posted, written about, and things of that nature. And the way that Chat GPT is really functioning. It's you could actually tell it, I have writer's block. Give me some topics, and you can connect it to the world now,
Yeah.
and it can give you popular topics that's related to you and everything that you've asked the chatbot, everything that you've trained it to do. So it used to be that you would need to come up with some sort of inspiration or some sort of starting point, but ChatGPT is kind of taking it to the nth degree where it's you literally say, I have no idea what to write. Give me some topics, and then write content around those topics. And you can get it to spin it and do all sorts of crazy stuff with it. So it's pretty wild in the evolution of where it's going. But like I said, I don't, in the short term, in the next 5 to 10 years, two things is really going to happen. It's going to take away a lot of the boring minutia of work activity. And I think it's just going to become more of a thing. We're not going to call it chat GPT. We're not going to call it AI. It's just, yeah, when I come in, I just press this button, and that's just step 2 of my day, right? Like, I think it's just going to be more of a thing. Like, the example I was talking to my partners about is, remember 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you had on-premise servers, and maybe you had a co-location or whatever. And then there was this concept of a cloud. And everyone was talking about, we have to go to the cloud. We have to do this. No one says the word cloud anymore, right? Like, it's just, that's the only thing that's out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where, what ChatGPT is doing with OpenAI, or what OpenAI is doing with ChatGPT, and what AI is doing in general. I think it's just going to be more commonplace, and we're just used to it. Even in phone systems, right? You're just used to the robotic voice, but now you're going to call in and actually have a conversation with it, and the AI is going to know where to transfer you or get you to the right person or answer the solution for you.
Right. Totally. So, all right. So I want to kind of switch gears here. Here's another question, kind of circling back to what we talked about before. I noticed a lot of these really interesting TikTok videos promoting your white label service, and I wanted to actually get your feedback on how much lift you guys saw as a result of that. I probably saw like 3 or 4 videos, I think, and it was just promoting the white label service. So what happens when you get a number of TikTok clips that go viral that basically promote your business? What was the experience from your end?
I mean, significant. One of our, top affiliates started out on TikTok, and what they would do is drive it to a YouTube channel and, go more in depth and really answering the questions, because you only have 30 seconds to 3 minutes to really explain something on TikTok, and it doesn't get you enough. But the algorithm on there is actually really, really great and gets you in front of the right people. And if you have the right charisma and the right content, there's a lot of, technology savvy individuals who, really latch onto it and they want to learn more. And for us, that was a significant lift. And really just a new demographic of individuals that was coming into the product. And what we've also learned with that demographic is that they were quicker to the punch and actually understanding what we were trying to deliver to the world. So it was a win-win for us when customers started doing that.
Okay, so then what is your advice to small, medium-sized businesses that are looking to attract influencers, personalities, people that are ready and willing to put their reputation on the line, to build content, to TikTok videos, Instagram videos, YouTube videos, and just create the whole cycle and do it consistently, most importantly?
I think it's interesting. People feel like talking to influencers, talking to content creators, just talking to people, there's like this false belief that they're behind this magical wall that you can't connect with them or whatever. You'd be surprised. It's just a matter of just reaching out to somebody and saying, I have a product or service. I think you would really like it. Can I talk to you a few minutes about it? And sure, they may not respond the first time, maybe not the second time, the 10th time, the 15th time. People will eventually respond, and persistence is the key. And you'd be surprised, like, people are very receptive to just learning more about what other people are doing. I think the other piece also is just being comfortable putting content out there yourself. And it's something that you mentioned earlier. It's just trying to figure out what you feel comfortable in, because it could be blogs, it could be video content, it could be Instagram posts, it could be whatever. Just whatever you feel comfortable with, just start putting something out there. Because I definitely believe we're in that world where if you don't have a social profile of some sort, you're probably, people think that you're catfishing them. So not only does it help you feel comfortable getting online, it builds a little bit of authority, mostly in the business world.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that's really valuable advice. I think by now all of us need to be out there in some capacity. I think one of the keys is picking your channel. Like we can't be successful in all of our channels. I mean, the people that try to succeed on all channels are ultimately the people that succeed on none of them. So what I've always learned and what I've always tried to really execute is just like pick one or two channels and focus on that. And then
Yeah.
the other ones become your ancillary channels. It's sort of like your tier two, where it's like repurposed content, you know? What is your best performing channel as an individual, but also as a company, and why?
I mean, for me personally, I don't have a specific channel. I'll take that back. I would say it's probably Facebook, only because our community is on Facebook and we have a very strong Facebook community. And so I'm actively engaging in there, helping customers and stuff like that. But from a public profile perspective, I don't really have one. I sort of retweet or reshare whatever somebody else tags me in. But I don't look at it as a legion perspective. I just need to be online because people want to look me up. Um, but that's honestly the best way to go about it in what you just said. It's the hub and spoke model. Pick one, really understand the demographics, and really try to talk to them and understand, where they're at and try to meet them there. And then take that same content, cut it up, chop it up, repurpose it on all the other platforms where it's just more on autopilot. And the one that you put the most focus on will provide the most opportunity, and the other ones is just ancillary backup. For that same individual who sees you on the first channel, they'll see you on the other channels as well.
That makes sense. That's good advice. All right, so tell me this: what would be the title of your next book?
Of my next book, just press the easy button.
Press the easy button. All right,
Yeah.
take me through. Pitch me on press the easy button. Take me through that.
Yeah, you know what it is everyone is very passionate about what they do on a day-to-day basis,
Okay.
and that leans to complexity. And you want to talk about the complexity, you want to build a complexity, because that's what defines you in many ways, is that complexity. And for me, it's how do I make things simple that I don't have to think about it anymore. And this is where automations, really come in. But the big asterisk with automations is you can get super complex with it and get really granular, but the payoff there isn't that important. And so one of the things that I stress at my team is just press the easy button. You're trying to overcomplicate it. You're going down a path that's going to cause you more work. It feels good, that you can talk about it and there's all these steps and processes and getting to the finish line. But if you just kind of remove all of that noise and just get to the finish line with just, some easy steps there, you're getting the same outcome. It just may not feel as empowering that you accomplish something meaty anymore, but it gets you to the same outcome. And it actually reduces stress. You can go home at night not having to think about, oh, tomorrow I need to finish step 19 and 20 in this long thing. And so that's something that I've been trying to stress, not only in my personal life, but along with the team as well.
That makes sense. One of the things that I'm really excited to promote is the integration that Dub has now with HighLevel, and we're pushing it. We're kind of collaborating with your team. It's so cool to see two systems coming together. We started as a video only platform. That's what we were in the very beginning. We had a Chrome extension, and then eventually a mobile app, and then eventually a desktop app, and now we've just built ourselves into this automation system that integrates really nicely. And I think that it's so nice when we hear someone from, let's say, HighLevel come to us saying, I want this integration, and then another person comes, and then another person comes, and before you know it, we have like 59 upvotes on
Yeah.
our product roadmap. Are like, we need to prioritize this. And anytime that happens to me, I'm like, all right, I got to talk to one of the founders. Let's get into this. Let's understand this. I want to build a relationship up. This is my absolute favorite thing to do as the host of a podcast, Connection Loop podcast. It's to meet people like yourself, to learn from you. This experience has been better than an MBA for me. And I just wanted to express my gratitude for your time. And is there any kind of last message that you'd like to share with people? Where can people connect with you? Your website, your social channels. Give us all the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's simple. Go highlevel.com. Feel free to check us out there. Me personally, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all the different channels. I am horrible I don't even know my usernames. I think it's the Rob A77 on Twitter, the Robin Alex, I think, on Instagram. only because someone else took Robin Alex, so I'm the Robin Alex. But no, I'm everywhere. You can shoot me an email, robin@gohighlevel.com. More than happy to jump on a call with anybody, answer any questions and help you get to, find the solution that you're looking for.
Cool. And then final question, talk to us about your logo.
There's really no specific story behind it. We just, my partner Sean, he just got the domain and went to one of those logo generators, and this is what it's spit out, and we just
Okay. All right. Because when I look at it, I see growth, growth, growth. I see orange, I see blue, I see green. I see all things growing, happiness and money and business and automations and all the best stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, Robin. This was Robin and Ruben. This was the Robin and Ruben show. Here
There
we
you
go.
go. Double R.
Thanks again. Stick around for some notes. Thanks so much.
Thank you.